We're going to start our fall landscape. We're going to add a horizon line, we're going to add a light source, and we're going to add a tree. The fall scene is going to start out by creating the sky. So we're going to need oil pastels for that, and you're going to consider whether yours is in the day or if it's in the night. This one I'm going to make at night. So I'm going to start out by creating a light source up in the sky. Notice I'm going over and over the same spot with my oil pastel. I want a lot of oil pastel to really make this work. I started out with a full moon, and now I'm going to choose colors that get just slightly darker on the way out. So I'm adding kind of this yellow from the white full moon, so it's kind of showing like a glow coming off from it. Notice I'm going over and over the same spot. I'll add a little bit and then I'll change to a new color. So this one just continues to go out, but I'm getting very close to the edge. So I want to make sure that I have a scrap paper underneath the area that is getting close to the edge. I'll continue to do this for the whole entire sky. I need to cover at least 1/2 of the piece of paper with my circles that I'm adding. My sky, and I'm going to start from my moon, and I'm going to use paper towel to blend some of the sky. So I'm going to simply just take this and blend some of the colors. I'm starting from the inside, and once I have all of that done, I'll move further out and further out. I have one that's already completed, and this is a day scene, so it looks something like this. Now the next step that we're going to do is try to create a background, or a horizon line. So you'll have a couple of pieces of paper, actually, yep, this is the one, and you're going to make a horizon line. So I'm going to do that by ripping my paper. It's a little too long, so I can take and fold this. If I want a pretty straight line along here, I'm just going to fold it, and I can rip that too. Then I think the best thing to do is to use glue this way today. So we're going to dip our finger into the glue and add it along the edges. I know it feels kind of different, kind of funny. But if we go along all the edges of our piece of paper, I think it's going to stick down really, really well. Once we have our first layer done, notice I have a lot of extra layers here. I'm going to add more and more layers to mine until I fill up the whole lower half. This will create a landscape, a middle ground, a foreground, and you can even add another layer if you would like. We'll glue down each of them in the same way that I showed you, taking our finger, going around the edges, and making sure that it sticks down really nice and tight. Now we're going to add that Y tree. We've practiced drawing it, but we're actually going to use brown pieces of paper to create one. So you're going to take your brown piece of paper and rip little tiny strips. This is kind of fun because it creates a very natural looking tree, one that's not absolutely perfect. I have a bunch of strips already ripped up, and I'm going to start by adding this right here. So this is where this comes in really nice and handy. I'll just simply take a little bit of glue and spread it on the back of my strips of brown. Now, I know some of you might not like the feeling of glue on your fingers, so if you're really irritated and you don't want it on there, just kind of rub it on your other hand, and what happens is it kind of disappears. Another option is to have a paper towel nearby and just wipe it off. We're going to use glue for the whole hour, so you want to make sure that you're not walking over and washing your hands all the time, because that'll just waste your time and then you'll get it dirty again with more glue. So use those two first options first. before washing your hands. So you're going to start adding these branches. The further out on our tree, the smaller the branches become. Once you have your tree done, you've completed step 1 of our fall scene, and I will give you more instructions on what to do with our pumpkins and our shadows next time you have art.